GM. Can you guys hear me? Awesome, awesome. GM, Jindo, Nagash, Volphoenix, Ahota, Urder, VB, Tango Mike, Captain Shadow, Suro. Welcome, my friends. Jetblade as well. A pleasure to have all of you here with me today while we explore the PTR saga. Today's a very special day. We have many things to cover. I will unfortunately be alone today because John has some stuff to attend to. Everyone's busy, but the penguin is never alone when the community is with him. And I think we'll have. Yes, exactly, Arthur. I saw the drama. People are mad because the sun is too bright. BB, we'll talk about the World Cup as well. Don't worry, this is important. And actually, now that you put this penguin meme, it actually got me kinda curious. Are you guys from the US following the World Cup? Like, is this a thing in the US? You guys are excited about it? If we have Mexicans and Canadians as well, feel free to chime in. Oh, really, Arthur? You're going there? Interesting. Rooting for the home team. Yeah, this is cool. Hold on a second, guys. I'll just grab a glass of water and be right back real quick. Maybe the odds of Norway winning this World Cup are almost as high as Saint just surviving the RPG campaign, which is to say non-existent. I guess Norway has bigger chances. Sheesh. VB, I'm not feeling Deutschland has a good team this year. I wouldn't I wouldn't place my hopes really high if I were you, honestly. Brazilians need revenge. I hope we get you, we play with you guys. Really looking forward to this. We need our revenge. We need to put out the ghosts of the past. Let me grab here real quick the things that I want to talk with you guys about regarding the PTR. Mhm. really interesting so much. Okay. All right, let's get started with this episode of the Atlas Brew. Atlas Brew 207, the PTR saga. As you guys know, we have been grinding, fixing 208. Very true, VB. Sorry. Darwin, what are you doing, man? You didn't update the number. I have some noteworthy news for us on actually a few points, a few different areas of Star Atlas right now. I have a feeling that the activity is starting to pick up again, which is super cool. And PTR Saga World Cup fever, exactly, baby. And yeah, I think we can get started. First of all, welcome everybody. Today we are going to talk about the RPG podcast campaign. We are going to talk about C4 PTR, what has been done. No way you said soccer. Jesus, Jindo. We are going to talk about the C4 PTR. I'll tell you guys what we have been working on, the things that are coming next to you all, the cool stuff that I have been doing as well with C4, and we'll collect feedback, overall impressions from you guys, things that you'd like to see the most in the C4 PTR. I'll try to also give you guys a good idea of the roadmap, how things are going to move forward. We are getting close to the stage where we are going to wipe out the current PTR build and move to the next phase. Should be exciting because we are going to introduce some cool stuff, some new cool stuff. And yes, we have a lot to discuss today. Exactly, Jindo. We are going to talk about Combat V2, which is something really important. We also need to talk about pips. Yes, Emperor. If you can grab the link for the vote, my friend, that would be awesome as well. So people can go and vote on the Super Phoenix DAO, Super Phoenix Sports pip. It's going to be exciting. All right. So let's get started on our first topic here, which is the Star Atlas RPG podcast. I have finalized the main book of our campaign. Let me show you guys a cool picture. Should I show it real quick? I think I should show you guys real quick how it's looking. Thank you, Shipblade. This is my provisory cover for the player's handbook, and it is quite the book, guys. Let me open here, just show you guys real quick. Don't want to spend too much time here, but I want to show you that I'm actually putting many hours of work on making this a success, because I feel it has huge potential to spread that Atlas lore in the universe to a wider audience. So yep, this is the first version of our RPG book. Let me go to the summary here. So yeah, we have 25 chapters, from which 23 are ready. Those will be added when I finish building the whole campaign, the whole story of the book. The book has 521 pages, and basically what this book do is get us it gets everything that we have on Sage, on C4, in Holosim, in terms of lore, in terms of mechanics, in terms of universe IP, and give you the rules, the framework for you to play Star Atlas with your friends in an RPG table through our very own proprietary RPG system. I tried to do this. I tried to create a system that was super, let's say, intuitive. You only need one dice to play. You just need 6 faces dice, the famous D6, and you are all set to play the game. The only thing that you need is a pen and pencil, an eraser, a sheet of paper, or you can play using those online systems that allows you to save files and etc. And you are good to go. And here we have the weapons from the world of Star Atlas. We have the different species. So for example, let me show you the mud here. Let me go to the humans. You see there's lore here. I explained the lore of Star Atlas. This is not the final version, okay? This is like the first working version of this book. This is José formatting and working with Claude to build this design. We'll have something a lot better when we are going to release this to a wider audience. But let me share with you guys, like for example, how the humans work. So here we have some lore regarding the humans. I explain what is a human in the universe of Star Atlas. I share their traits, their attributes, how the mud faction works in the universe of Star Atlas. And then here we come on how you create a mud character in Star Atlas. And finally, here come mechanics. So for example, the muds in Star Atlas, they have 2 basic unique features that only the muds, the humans, have in Star Atlas. First is a will pool. It's where the human character can tap on his willpower to overcome situations, to get some bonuses while they are playing. And the second is the augmentation system. So I created a whole set of rules, of systems that allows you to not only implement augmentations in your characters as a mod, but also you can craft them. And we have a variety of different augmentation items. I think we have over 60 different types of augmentation. Here are some samples, but each one of them will give your character some different traits, stats, even unique abilities, and it goes all the way from tier 1 to tier 5. So, for example, you can have all your augmentations on servo, which makes your character faster. You can have all your augmentations on cortex, which will make your character more resiliently, physically speaking, or he'll become smarter. You can add to persona, which will make you more charismatic. And there are many different ways where you can combo different augmentation items in your character. And even systems where they resonate with one another. So you have the leveling up, how when you level up, this unlocks new abilities, new items, new stuff that you can do with your character to boost him. And yeah, as you can see, the chapters are very deep. Each one of the characters, each one of the species, I try to make them as unique as possible. For example, if you want to play the Punabs, I even created the rules for you to create your own mecha. If you guys remember Core, you remember that Punabs fight using mechas, so this is no exception here. You have your stats as a Punab, you have your mecha, which you can use in some situations, and yeah, each one of them has their unique rules. I am super excited to start to start uh, to start trying this. And yes, Groove, the first session is scheduled. If everything works out, I want to do this first session on June 18 during the next episode of the Lore Keepers. And this session is going to be a session 0 where you guys will see the backgrounds of one of our player characters, something to get us started for the true RPG campaign, which will happen, should start on the 19th or in the week after. We are still debating internally, but the good news is that everything that we need is ready. I used AI to compile the book, but you can rest assured that every mechanic, every system, it was handcrafted by me, thinking about the characteristics of Star Atlas and trying to make each species the most unique possible. And yeah, we are super excited. Bohemian is one of the players there. He can share with you the process that we have been doing to create his character. He's going to play as Sogmian, and you guys will see things from the Sogmian lore, for example, how the Dupra, the Sogmian Vol, works inside the universe of Star Atlas, how a Sogmian character behaves and understands reality, and things like that. So if you have some time, make sure to join the next episode of the Lore Keepers. Let me grab here the event link so you can mark as interested. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys will be able to see your fellow community members fighting through the fires and flames of Star Atlas dangers. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. Besides that, this is it from the RPG campaign. If you guys have any questions, any doubts, please send me a message or any of the players. We will be more than happy to have you guys on board and playing with us, laughing with us, crying with the players when we get to the dungeons. With that said, oh, baby, that's actually super interesting. During this campaign, during the RPG campaign podcast, I will be submitting to the community some topics, some ideas, some situations where you can influence the outcomes of the RPG campaign. So, for example, we'll have cliffhangers during some sessions, and I'll give here an example of something that you guys would be allowed to vote on. For example, let's say the party is faced with a dungeon boss, and one of our characters is making a pitch. He is trying to talk the boss into letting them go, and he has a critical failure. At this situation, I'll allow you guys to vote on the consequences on what's going to happen in the next episode. So we'll have a series of options, and you guys will be able to vote on what you believe would be the most entertaining outcome for that situation, or even suggest ideas on how the players could be penalized or how we could help them if you guys feel so inclined to do so. So it's going to be funny, exciting, and the idea of this show is for all of us to have fun together while also spreading the holy gospel of Star Atlas lore and IP. So yeah, the audience will have a voice in how things play out, and you guys can come and cheer for your favorite characters or try to kill the characters that you like, that you don't like, or do you like the least. With that said, let's move on to the DAO agenda. Emperor shared a it was Chief Blade actually. He shared a one of the live vote that we have so far this week on the DAO, which is the proposal for the Super Phoenix Sports live event. And it is passing with overwhelming community support right now. If you guys take a look there, you see that they have 88 million PvP in favor against 14 million no's. They have a total 15% of the current DAO PvP voting on this proposal, which is cool. And nevertheless, all of you should be voting if you have not voted yet. It is super important to participate in the DAO governance. It is something super important to be participating in the democracy of Star Atlas, especially since we are planning on add more and more policy utility in our gameplay loops. This is something that we have been talking about for a while now. We even talked about this during the town hall. We are going to add a democracy module mega project to C4, in which you guys will be able to actually put your PvP to influence game mechanics in the C4 ecosystem. So this is exciting, and the DAO is another face of this political participation in Star Atlas. The DAO also has the means to do many cool stuff. The DAO has a seizable treasury. Let me see. It's not loading for me now, but if I remember correctly, it was over 400k. So we can do a lot of cool stuff with the DAO. All you gotta do is get involved, start doing, starting participating. I see Arthur talking about UE5 game. Jindo, actually, we are working or taking a look on what we can fix in terms of the UE5 gameplay loops. Brad has been taking a look and trying to fix some of the broken stuff. So he actually shared a very cool demo with us in the team yesterday. Michael is here in the audience. Michael, should I be allowed to share at least the topic of what was? GM Michael. Yeah, I think they will get excited as well. So hear me out, guys. One thing that all of us have been dreaming about in the UE5 world, besides exploration, besides combat, is base building, right? We have our claim stakes now in C4, and if you have been playing the PTR, you surely feel like that good feeling when you manage to build your claim stake, you see it working for you, gathering resources. You can start to imagine your base growing, and even start dreaming on the day where Star Atlas starts manifesting this in the Unreal Engine 5 world. The good news for you is that Brad is actually starting to do this now. He showed us a very cool demo in which he's working on Project Galia, where he's basically creating the infrastructure of a claim stake in Project Galia. So you have hydroponics, you have the mining drills, you have stuff like that. and it obeys a logic of you supplying fuel, you supplying raw materials, and the claim stake works for you. The other really cool stuff is that it's modular, just like your claim stakes are in C4 PTR. So he was there dragging constructions, placing different structures, and we were seeing his base grow, resource numbers pumping, and etc. He also told us that he's also doing this in a multiplayer compatible manner. So when we are able to focus on making this into the multiplayer world of Star Atlas, the foundations will be there for us to hook everything together and allows you guys to collaborate on creating claim stakes together and expanding your galactic empire. And I'm kind of curious how important you guys feel this is in terms of universal construction. Like, how are you guys looking forward to this kind of gameplay loop where you guys are building claim stakes, harvesting resources, controlling crew, etc.? Would you say this is cooler than combat, for example, or I would love to hear your thoughts on this, guys, because this allows us to drive development or steer development in a way or another. Emperor says yes, very. Arthur also agrees. Interesting that you guys find this more interesting than combat. Hey, Michael, GM, welcome to the stage.
GM. AI Maxers. I've burned through my entire ChatGPT Max plan and my 2 daily inference allocations on Venice using Fable last night. So I'm just here twiddling my thumbs. I might as well jump up on stage and chat.
Yeah, since you can't do anything else, right? Let's chat.
My weekly GPT doesn't reset until 5:30 tonight, so I actually feel lost.
Man,
damn,
what
should
I do with my life now?
I'm gonna have to go touch grass. I genuinely don't know what else to do right now. But
this is
yeah, I just wanted to mention too on this. You're kind of opening a discussion between like where do we prioritize efforts on Unreal Engine, and just given the lack of resources on that team right now, Brad's been putting most of his effort into really passion projects, things that he's most excited about working on, and that's driven us down this single player mode path, which I think is kind of a potentially a good onboarding tool, and we can create a campaign out of that and good initial experience, but obviously it would need to be built. That does mean that we have to sacrifice some efforts on the existing features that are out there on the market right now, like arena shooter or racing. It's not to say we don't want to put energy into that. It's just a limitation that we're currently faced with. But to your point, Jose, we did have a discussion about this on the meeting yesterday, and some of those major issues that people are facing, like the invincibility bug in arena shooter and spectator modes across racing and siege modes, those are not necessarily areas that Brad has expertise in, but he's going to be looking into it just to see if we can get some of those blockers out of the way. And yeah, we're aware that Super Phoenix Sports needs bugs fixed. I chat with Nord fairly regularly, and they're communicating those bugs to us. It's again, if we have the capability and bandwidth, we'll certainly get those fixed, but it's not something that we can just prioritize over everything else on behalf of Super Phoenix Sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The community knows we have a lot on our plates right now, especially with the C4 PTR, which, by the way, the development speed, Michael, right now is mind-blowing, right? I mean, I was checking the latest notes that John sent on the bug fixes since June 4th. I mean, we had 24 PRs in a little bit over 6 days. And this is quite insane, guys. Like, I, in terms of numbers of code lines that were written, this is a lot. Like, I mean, most of you who are playing the C4 PTR are already aware of the speed in which we are working on, but I have here the list that John provided, so I might as well drop here in the chat. Let's see.
Yeah, so a couple of things on this. I think it's a bit of a change of subject from the Unreal Engine topic, but I am thoroughly impressed with what the team has been able to accomplish, and we're not even 2 weeks into PTR. Just kind of had that realization yesterday. Hey, we were 12 days in as of yesterday. We'll be 2 weeks in as of tomorrow, and we've gone through dozens of bug fixes. But what's I think even more impressive to me is that, yeah, we're jamming out bug fixes, and we've got guys like Jacob, John, and Joseph all working on bug fixes. But concurrently, we're also introducing a number of new features. And Jose, you've been on those internal calls where we're discussing the various feature priority that we want to add. And, I guess I'll just kind of report here like what a few of those things are. Danny's working on first-time user experience, quality of life improvements, and he's really building out that solo trainer mode. Those are things that he's jamming through. All of the updates to the marketplace that were just recently released that you guys are engaging with right now. That was, Danny redesigning the marketplace UI. John has picked up the Nemesis engine, which is the NPC spawning mechanism that we used in Holosim, and we're retrofitting a version of that for C4 with a variety of different objectives. So it won't follow the same logic that Holosim followed, where it spawns NPCs based on mining rate. This is going to be a combination of friendly NPCs roaming your faction, enemy NPCs roaming your faction, enemy NPCs that can target specific players or specific regions. What else do we talk about here?
Even objectives, right? Yeah.
Yeah, variety of objectives. Like, one of the other things that I think is cool is we can probably roll out like a bounty, right? So periodically, a specific named fleet will spawn in a faction, and there will be a bounty that if you go find that fleet and destroy it, or in the storyline capture that named NPC, then you complete that mission. Things like this. So we're going to be able to be a lot more creative with NPC spawning and use in C4, but I think this is going to complement very nicely the updates to combat. And right now it's pretty much pure PvP. This is going to give us a PvE element of combat that we can start testing out as well. So you're not warping or sub-warping all the way across the map just to test combat against other players. There's going to be NPCs in your faction that you can go after. So John's tackling the NPC engine. Jacob has already, just since Monday, completed Combat V2 and very excited to say the installing democracy module, which I've loosely alluded to. So in 3 days, 2 features that would otherwise have taken our entire team historically months to complete. Right? And I'm talking about a much bigger team too. Let's say when we had 50 people on the team, good 40 to 50% of those in the engineering group working on a dedicated feature like installing democracy, it would probably have taken them 2 or 3 months to complete it. In 3 days, Jacob's gotten that done and Combat V2 done. And this is fully attributed to our agentic AI integration into our development flows.
Michael, do you mind if I drop the patch notes for the Combat V2 in the chat?
Yeah, go ahead. I actually leaked it yesterday in the C4 PTR channel. I was pretty excited about it.
Here we go, guys. This is one of the biggest changes in terms of game mechanics that we ever had, in my opinion. Like, for example, we have right now different types of damage inside Star Atlas, which is by itself something absurd because it brings hundreds of different configuration loops for your fleets, and also countermeasures to try to defend your fleets against those type of damages. So now combat is no longer just who has the bigger gun wins, but also requires players to think strategically on how they are going to form their fleets, how they're going to keep their different ships with. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus Christ, Mike. I need to find a way to ban this freaking horseman. It does damage to me. But yeah, we have different types of damage, we have different types of weapons, we have different types of defenses, of holes, lots of changes on hulks, EHP flows, attack UX. I mean, combat was like he wore it on the ground, and it really looks a lot. It really is. Look, it really is much more strategic. It's no longer just a matter of clicking. It's a matter of knowing how to build your fleets, how to engage with your enemies, how to assess the situation, the different powers that are engaged in combat. It's going to be super exciting. I can't wait until we get this. And it's coming very soon, Bohemian. You are asking to test this. This is actually on the pipeline to be integrated with the C4 PTR very soon. Maybe in the next wave of releases, I don't know, Michael, if we will be able, but surely soon enough, this is going to come to the PTR.
Yeah, I don't mind really sharing dates here. What we're going to do is, so the Combat V2 update does require a program deployment. So we actually will have to wipe the PTR in order to release Combat V2. And so what we're looking at is, and as I mentioned, the Nemesis engine, the NPC spawner, is complementary to the Combat V2 system, because you'll be able to actually engage in like local local combat with PvE opponents. So when we have the Nemesis engine ready, which is probably less than a week, but John's focused on that. But when we have that complete, then we'll couple a bigger release of Combat V2 with Nemesis engine, and we'll do the wipe. And it's probably a week, possibly 2 weeks away. Just keep in mind, I mean, all of these new features, as well as bug fixing, has all happened within 2 weeks, and we're looking at less than a month to get those other two major features in. I'm also going to post. I will post this in the PTR chat, but it's just a little. This is a summary that Jacob sent me this morning. So this is the diplomacy module, the installing democracy. It's everything I described before, so I won't necessarily go into it again. But again, being able to establish the democracy module as a mega project at a king system, install your diplomats, and then start earning a portion of fee revenue generated at that local starbase, which I think is super cool. And there's like limited guardrailed governance decisions that players can vote on with their delegated PvP as well. So that this installing democracy module, we might even get out before we release the Combat V2 and Nemesis engine update.
Oh, really?
And yeah, nice. Just to kick it off and start testing. This is massive for tokenomics. I've mentioned it numerous times on these brews and on the town hall, but I think it's a really solid mechanism to drive more utility to Polis, to drive more utility to crew members, and also introduce one of the very first revenue distribution mechanisms through gameplay to players. So I think that one's powerful. And then just to kind of close out here, Jose, on the other features that we're working on, just pulling up the list here again, is cultivation claims. So we obviously need to add support for those, and we want full cultivation claim loop, which consists of generating the exclusive cultivation claim resources, crafting consumables, and being able to apply the consumables as a buff to your, I'll say assets, because it could be fleets, it could be crew, which again, now that we have Combat V2, which is really just a on-chain stat modifier feature, like different damage types, introducing things like crit chance, crit damage, dodge, evade, and defensive modifiers. All of those, now can be applied. And what cultivation claims ultimately results in is another stat modifier. I'm going to take this stim. It's going to give me higher mining rates for an hour, right? And so you consume that consumable, that resource, and you get the stat modifier. So all of it is kind of complementary to one another.
Man, this is super cool. The speed that we are shipping now is crazy, Michael. Oh man. By the end of the year, we have the full metaverse done.
I mean, possibly. So a lot of the AI work doesn't contribute as well to the high fidelity AAA MMO products, the Unreal Engine product. But in terms of engineering, this is, I'm not kidding you guys, it's 100x. I've launched 2 companies, been building in the crypto tech space for 10 years and have managed teams building features and products over that timeline. And there is nothing like what I've just seen over the last, call it 4 months, 4 or 5 months, in what a small team is capable of producing now. It's really incredible. And like I said, I blew through my my daily limits on. So I've got Venice inference now as well through staked VBV and then staked DM token. So it's not a lot. I get like $50 per day of inference for free from Venice, and I'm using that to experiment with different models on that platform. There's 250 different models you can engage with, but I wanted to check out Fable, and I did some stuff with Fable yesterday on the split between the daily reset, and it pretty much one-shotted my my daily inference allocation, but the output was incredible. So Fable is extremely, extremely strong. And the other cool part about this, by the way, and I think I'm probably just rambling here, but the other cool part about all of this is, there's always been concerns from our engineering team about tech debt. If you guys are familiar with this concept, it's essentially, you're building so fast that you're not really polishing everything as much as you would like to, and it leaves this legacy debt in the code that you need to come back to at some point to clean up. But it's like you don't even need to worry about tech debt anymore, because as soon as you get the next model released, you just tell that model, hey, go through my code and fix anything that's broken or suboptimal, and it fixes it for you. And it takes 10 minutes. So it just means that we're going to have less concerns about legacy tech debt. We can push even faster at releasing and building new features. And we have the confidence that as soon as we get another update, we just do a full analysis of our code base with that latest model, and we fix everything. It's pretty cool.
I want to share my usage of AI. As you guys know, I am probably the least technical individual in Automata across all the team. But even in my case, AI allowed me to do a lot more. To be on top of, first of all, to be on top of everything that I have been working on. So for example, every day, the AI tells me, Jose, you need to expand the lore on the nearest species because it's underdeveloped compared to the Sogmian, to the Punabs. We have X amount of data on those. You have only Y amount of data on Sogmians. So it guides my writing. It guides my development. Second, it allowed me to fully edit the whole Stratos lore and organize it in a good manner, in a logical manner, everything that I had written from the data I started in the company to this day. So now, instead of having dispersed hundreds, if not thousands of files. I have everything organized in the lore wiki. I have even my internal deposits where there is things that are canon, things that are public knowledge, things that are not public knowledge. This helped a lot. It allowed me to create a whole RPG setting from the ground in pretty much like 2 months. Like, this is the work of a team of individuals over a long period of time where they are working together, trying to get everything ready, and etc. It is allowing me to use the lore that I have created and pretty much create the lore of every planet, every star, every sector in the Star Atlas C4 PTR. This is one of the PRs that I'm going to submit maybe later this week to the team. So when you guys see the C4 PTR after this update, it's not going to be like Mud King System 2. No, everything will have a name. Everything will have a place in the lore of Star Atlas based on the canon that's already created. It's going to bring a lot of life, and coupled with the Nemesis engine NPC systems, we have a galaxy that has its true geopolitical systems. It has the true NPCs, the true factions that exist within the universe, living, acting, and etc. And besides all of this, I even tried to actually create code for the team. Like, not even sure I should be saying this because we have not tested this, but I am even trying my hand on creating a crew member system for the C4 PTR. So hopefully it's going to work out. It sounds promising. I already sent John for review. And he's going to take a look, but it allows us to move so much faster. It's insane, guys. It's super cool. Like, I'm super excited about the possibilities in the future.
Yeah, I think you might even be underselling that a little bit. So let me just restate it. I mean, the two things that you showed yesterday, Jose, was the manual for the RPG campaign. So 500 plus pages of tabletop RPG mechanics that you created on your own over a couple of weeks to months. That's insane. And two, this crew module that you were describing. Now you've got it all kind of wired up, mocked up in a pretty basic AI site, but if we can get that implemented, then this once again is effectively the stat modifier mechanic where each one of your assigned crew, each one of your crew members with all of their rarities and specializations and skills can now be assigned specifically to a fleet and then modify that fleet. For almost the entire time since we launched Crew and the discovery of how inefficient the CNFT standard was for us, as much research as we did leading up to the decision to use CNFTs, the CNFT protocol had never been stress tested to the level where what we were doing with it. Most people were still doing something like 10,000 crew mints. We have millions of crew, all with unique modifiers on them, right? So, and when you start moving that many assets around through, and this is actually even a little more technical than I understand, but it's essentially the Merkle tree structure and the leaves off of the Merkle trees. And so when you start transferring these assets around, how frequently it needs to update the Merkle, I guess Merkle root, I think, or just the Merkle tree itself. That's why it's such a pain in the ass to even import crew into Sage, is because it's updating that structure too frequently and the chain can't really keep up with it. I probably did a terrible job of really explaining that. But anyway, we weren't sure if we were going to be able to, when we would be able to take advantage of the unique characteristics of each one of the individualized crew. It's very cool that you just built something like this that we can potentially apply in the game that will then improve, like introduce their true utility as we intended it when we first released Crew 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited if this works out. we'll finally have crew members as actual in-game individuals. And if we think about it, this is the actual beginning of the micro-scale Star Atlas game, where you start as one character, you have your air bike, and you grind your way to the tops of Galia Expanse. So yeah, I'm really hoping this works out, and we'll be able to introduce our characters together with the fleet system, together with the NPC systems, and Star Atlas comes a step closer every day on fulfilling its vision. Super excited. Super excited.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify one thing here because I see a comment from Earther and Jith. The Merkle tree structure is part of the CNFT standard created by Metaplex that is independent of the core blockchain operation. So it's not like we're actually doing anything with Zinc that makes CNFTs work better. And in fact, we might still need to move off of the CNFT standard. What Jose is working on is even independent of that allows us to track crew and their stats and then apply that in game. So it's actually not connected to Zinc at all, and it's no modification of Zinc or Sol, with our Zinc implementation that makes this possible. It's just something that Jose is working on separately. So I just want to.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just want to recap really quickly. Again, outside of all of the bug fixes and John's posting reports on all of the updates every other day or so, you guys are seeing those in the C4 PTR channel. But that's jamming through feature requests, bug reports, support tickets. We've also managed to work on Combat V2, installing Democracy module, potentially this crew feature. Cultivation claims will be coming, and the Nemesis engine. So 4 or 5 major features that we're actually adding to the client. And again, we're 13 days into the PTR right now. 5 major features, and I'm separately working on an agent creator protocol. We don't really need to get into that right now, but the idea is that it's kind of a one-click solution to spinning up your own personalized agent. And I won't get into the partnerships that we have here, but it's harness side, it's MCP on our side, and skills, so the agents know how to play, and then inference backend that you're all connected to. Now, the end user would have to pay for their subscription for their actual usage, but making it possible to create an agent that plays on your behalf and allows you to generate passive income. But yeah. All of these things, again, just in a couple of weeks. And by the way, I should mention, Chris has actually been traveling for the last 3 weeks, but he's back in town this weekend, or back in the States this weekend. And we are organizing a call with this Econ Vantara group that we have. And so we're going to do a deep dive on all of the future potential Atlas emission mechanics, earnings mechanics, game balance. Over the course of next week.
Super exciting, yes. And I think, Michael, another thing that the speed of those releases, actually another very important thing on this front, is that right now we are all working together, extremely focused on the C4 PTR. And when we get all of the team super passionate and working on a single product, this is the kind of speed that we see. Like, I have never seen anything like this, honestly. It's super fun because internally we see, like, from our weekly meetings, every week the game is different. Every week there is new features. Every week the bugs are fixed. So yeah, I can only imagine how C4 will look like when we leave PTR. It's going to be insane.
Yes, and in my recap there, I mean, it's so many things are happening so quickly. I even just in my recap, I just forgot to mention, Danny building out this whole first-time user experience in solo trainer mode that is going to cover, what has been communicated to us many times, has surfaced many times, which is we know the game is extremely complex. That is by design. We want it to be complex. That creates opportunities for players to establish a niche for themselves that should in theory, drive trade and GDP across the economy between players and give players peer-to-peer opportunities to earn outside of inflation. But this solo trainer mode is going to be the full tutorial system and playthrough system. So the idea is, if you don't know how to play Sage at all, go jump into the what we call the campaign mode, and you're going through an entire campaign that teaches you how to play, and should be fun as well and filled with lore that I'm sure you'll be doing a ton of work on, Jose.
Absolutely, Michael. That's the kind of thing that we want. Grove has an interesting question here, Michael. Maybe you want to take this one. He is somewhat concerned about the balance between mechanical complexity and strategic complexity. Lots of steps to achieve something relatively simple with no impact, like the process to empty claim stakes cargo or the process to craft a ship module. Groove, I think this is literally the kind of thing that you guys are reporting to us during the PTR stage, and we are working out and trying to think on better ways to do those systems or to create those things. So, for example, if this is something that feels like hard to empty the claim stake cargo, we surely can add a button that will do that for you in the future. If this is something that you feel is breaking the experience. I mean, this is literally the reason for the C4 PTR to exist, and this kind of feedback is super valuable for us. Keep giving them, because this drives our development, as we were saying earlier today.
Yeah, I'll echo that. I mean, by no means are we finalized on the balance. I mean, we'll try to find a sweet spot. Yeah, the only pushback I would give here is that, keep in mind, this is a persistent universe. It is an open world MMO and browser. And the cadence of gameplay is intended to take time. Like you're not playing a round of StarCraft where you build out your whole base and, complete a round in, and if you're really good, 5 minutes, or, call it 30 minutes or something like that. This is supposed to be something that takes a long time intentionally. So crafting tier 5 components to use in ship config is supposed to be difficult. So I don't know if that's exactly what you're saying. Like, we don't want the UX to be bad. If you're saying the UX is bad and confusing, like that we need to fix. But if you're saying it just takes too long to accomplish some of these things, then again, we'll try to strike a balance so that it's still enjoyable to do and not monotonous, but it is intended to take time to accomplish some of these things.
I see many people typing. Don't worry, Groove. We are going to add skill-based tests to craft stuff. So you need to have like Korean levels of reaction to be able to craft tier 5 components. So it will take the same amount of time, but you'll be doing different things. All right. I think, yeah, Michael, go.
Yeah, all I can say, just keep giving us your feedback, though, preferably through the ticketing system in game. That's all going into our backlog. We're doing, John runs a full assessment of all of the bugs that have, or, all of the tickets that have come in every morning. We prioritize things, and then those just start getting fed to agents to get fixed.
Yeah, Bullet, if the UI is the problem, yes, we'll surely take a look on this, absolutely. And on the other matters, we are, as Michael was saying, we are always talking with Chris, trying to gauge the balance between effort, time, resources, and etc. You can be sure that this is going to be an eternal exercise from our side. Star Atlas will be forever evolving, and we'll be forever tackling how to improve the gameplay loops, how to make everything more interesting, how to make the game better. So if you guys are feeling strongly about something, as Michael said, submit the ticket in the game, because this is like the most important way that you can contribute to Star Atlas success. If you give us the feeling, the things that you want to see change it, this will surely help us a lot and make the game better overall. So go there and give us the feedback for sure.
Yeah, and I'll just emphasize. I mean, yes, of course, we've been in communication with Chris, but we've not had a material econ and game balance pass yet. That we're probably getting into that next week. So Chris has been engaged in the game himself. He's been playing and he's been reading through some of the support tickets that have come in. But again, we haven't done a major overhaul yet. So I would expect mechanics to change significantly by the time we get to our mainnet launch.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not even, I mean, we were on this first phase of deploying the C4 PTR, testing the mechanics, testing how everything worked, fixing the most preeminent bugs. And now we are in a better position to start tackling economic loops and adding new features, etc., that we will do together with the reset in the future. And yeah, guys, this was a very interesting brew. Thank you, Michael, for jumping in. It surely added a lot of context and very valuable information. W's in the chat for our CEO, Michael Wagner, who always finds the time to come to us, be together with the community, share his vision. It's super valuable. He would be perfect if he didn't keep posting this horse picture in the chat, but no one's perfect. So that's it. Wow. Jesus Christ. All right, everyone. Thank you guys for coming to the Atlas Brew 200. No, don't dare do this, Bob. 208. It's always a pleasure to be with you all and to enjoy the development of Star Atlas. And keep your eyes open. There's a lot going on. Every week we'll have updates for you on the C4 PTR. And you guys are part of this, so come with us, stay tuned, and let's keep building Galia Expanse. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a great week.
I was just going to say thank you, Jose, for hosting these as always, and appreciate you guys showing up, and also, big W to the community for participating with us through PTR. We know it's not the most fun part of gaming, but everything that you got, all the feedback that you guys are contributing, and all of this discussion is just helping us refine this, so we do land on something that can be truly transformative when we get that mainnet launch. So thank you guys.
Absolutely, Michael. And I was thinking here while you said that we should immortalize everyone who participated in the C4 PTR. Maybe you have a monument in the Council of Peace mothership with the names of everyone who participated, gave their feedback, and helped develop Galia. I think it's only proper for us to recognize this effort in our universe.
Yeah, we need a graveyard with headstones with everyone's names on it.
Jesus. All right, everyone. Thank you, guys. Have a nice week, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care.